They hear Muslim mayor,
Mhm.
they believe what Trump and his cronies say, and they automatically, when they see this, going, "Oh my God, he's trying to Muslimize New York City."
Welcome back to Casual Revolt. I'm here with my dad. There he is. Okay. We're both trained as teachers. You know, you've probably seen a few of our other videos out there. Today, we're going to be reacting to Ren, who is an artist from the UK, a musical artist from the UK. A lot of folks in my community have asked we react to some of Ren's music, so that's what we're going to do today. We're reacting to something called Money Game. I guess it comes in three parts. There's Money Game 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to try to react to all three today, and there are music videos attached to it. So my dad and I here are just going to listen, watch the videos, react to it, give you our perspectives on it and such. From what I've read about Ren, a very interesting guy, very interesting life story. I recommend everyone look him up. Just check out his work, etc. So here we go. Let's ready. You ready to go, Dad? Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay. So let's watch some. Let's watch Ren Money Game. This is Ren Money Game, the first part. Here we go.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns.
So I'm just going to pause it there. There was a lot.
Yep.
In just those first few hierarchy parties, he said. What else did he say? It's going to go back here. Strange time we're living in. World can put fear in your hierarchy parties. They make us feel inferior.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for sure. Partially through scapegoating. A lot of times, these political parties will scapegoat minority groups and things like that.
Right. Or in some cases, call us names.
Oh yeah,
like Tiggy.
Yes, like Trump did. Absolutely. Lots of that sort of old-fashioned attitude of, "Oh, the peasants are milling about outside."
And they are so wealthy and so powerful. They think they're above all of us. They do. Now, let me back up. I said they all think that. Some of them I really do behind the scenes try to help, but most of them still try to make us feel inferior.
Yeah. I mean, they're also like up there isolated on their golden thrones up there. Like,
They don't know what it's like.
no, they have no
down
idea
here.
what it's like. All the wealthy elites and things like that. No idea.
And those that are, rose from, you might say, the dust to become powerful and wealthy, they forget that. They forget that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And very few rose from the dust, in my opinion, to begin with. But anyway, I guess they rose from being oppressed to becoming oppressors. Okay.
Parliament.
Oh, sorry. We just saw this part. I'm going to go forward a bit here. Eerie theories strike fear in the weary-minded men. We're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose. Yes, we are blinded by illusions to choose. We have the illusion of like, oh, well, you have the choice to do this or that. Not very good choices there. Ball chained to your shoes. Yep. Crying, shame, pursuit, your own wealth lights a flame. Okay, the greed. This makes greed a game that lets this whole game. The world turns, the whole world burns. All right. Right there. Right.
As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade. But now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game.
What the guy in the chair represents.
A storm it comes our way.
I have a theory, but
those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we die.
Those who rise through distorted lies. Who could that be? So many people, right?
Yes.
So many different people. Farage, if you're Farage or whatever his name is over in the UK. We also got Trump here,
Blame. It's easy to blame.
Farage, not Farage.
We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
Blame, blame, blame.
Hmm.
That's I love it when people blame those that point out the truth,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that they're the
Right.
problem.
Yep. That goes way back in history, right? Always
Oh,
blame the.
indeed.
This old money game.
Uh-oh.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets, they say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech.
So I'm so sorry. I know I keep pausing it, Dad, but talking about the fear and like trying to make people afraid of each other and
Mhm.
things like that. That's a mode of social control. It's divide and conquer. Like you make everyone afraid of their neighbors, everyone afraid
Yep,
of anyone who has different skin color than you. That certainly makes it harder for all of you to work together against
yep.
the people at the top if you're constantly fighting each other.
But be suspicious of everybody around
Mhm.
you and only follow those that tell you
Yeah,
what you should follow.
yeah. And by the way, Dad, like I'm pretty sure, like, within your lifetime, like, didn't back in the day, like, people in neighborhoods used to hang out together
Mhm.
and, like, get together and things like that, but it seems like anymore people don't, like, talk to many people in their neighborhood, they don't really leave their house as much and to go, like, see people on their streets or around,
Well,
uh
and one of the things about that, prior to World War II, here in our country anyway, in the United States, people didn't hang out in their backyards on decks and patios in the backyards. There were big front porches, and you would sit out there, you'd see your neighbors walking up and down the street, you'd say hi, they'd stop and talk, and everybody knew everybody. So
yeah,
everybody knew who needed help, who didn't need help. Hey, did you hear, you know, 2 houses down, Betty's husband had a heart attack and she's having trouble getting, making ends meet. Okay, why don't
mhm.
we get together and supply them with food and so forth? That doesn't happen anymore.
No, like, people are too afraid to talk to their
Right.
neighbors, people are suspicious of their neighbors,
And
we're
and
constantly being pumped full of fear.
and why should I help? I mean, there's organizations out there that'll help. I don't I don't want to spend my money because it'll take
Mhm,
away from me owning that really big, expensive, nice car. And
mhm.
it's
Although admittedly, I think the blame more lies at the very top. I
oh
feel like
yeah,
charity shouldn't be necessary, as in people shouldn't have to do charity like for others to survive,
right,
as in everyone should have what they need
right,
without charity, right? It's a
right.
shame that that's not the case, but
See, and at the top, when you said blame the people at the top, they're the ones that say, success is spelled out in terms of
mhm.
money
Yep,
and power.
yep,
That's how you ask somebody. So,
so true.
how successful? I mean, what are your children doing now that they're out of college? Oh, they're real successful.
Mhm,
My son is a broker, and the house he lives in, or
mhm,
my daughter is this fantastic dress designer, and she's on TV, and real successful.
mhm.
I rarely hear anybody go, "Oh, they're doing very successful." They actually go out there and help the poor. They take a part of their income, a not just loose change, but a
Mhm.
good part of their income to help people in need,
Yeah,
to help make them successful. You don't hear that because that's not, now we'll take people like that and idolize them, but then it's all lip. We're
yeah.
giving it lip. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
look at this, but we sit back and
Of
watch
course, of
because
course.
that's what the people at the top say.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright.
But
What
when
do
did
we think
freedom
go on.
become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the middle class savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preachers.
That is so true. There's a lot of historical research on, like, for example, the Enlightenment era, and it was a very interesting time because, like, when you're referring to the West, right? A lot of those ideas and values that we associate with the West, if you want to use that word, was really mixed in. So, like, scientific rationality, focusing on freedom and liberty and things like that, was also mixed in with a strain of extreme violence, colonialism, and imperialism. So, like, people who idolize the West typically don't idolize they ignore a lot of the extreme violence and such that came along with a lot of those ideologies.
And also too, idolize the West. Yes, they came up with the Enlightenment and they pushed it, and they really had some great ideas,
Yeah.
really did. And the West tried hard to incorporate them. we then turned a blind eye on spreading that same ideology to other peoples around the world. Instead, we go, we colonize them, we take them over, we take their wealth away. They speak out against the colonizers. They get thrown in prison. I mean,
You
King
mean so I'm sorry.
George,
Yeah, you said I you said we turn a blind eye to spreading
the
enlightenment?
Enlightenment.
What do you mean? Like we didn't spread the enlightenment?
No, we did not, because
Yeah,
we created colonies
right.
where we did not spread that part of
Gotcha.
who we are to them.
Oh,
We
well,
kept them,
okay.
we silenced them, we took their wealth.
Yeah. But
We said,
also
"Be happy we're here because you used to be backwards."
right, but, like, at the same time, we probably shouldn't be forcing
No,
whatever Western ideology is anywhere. You mean, like I know what you mean, that's why I'm trying because how you phrased it made it sound like we should have been forcibly spreading the
no, not
Enlightenment.
forcibly.
You meant that, like, we didn't apply what we came up with we didn't act in a way that we believed in.
That's right.
Okay.
We did not apply the
Invest in
Enlightenment
it.
to how we treated
I got you, okay.
those people.
Yes, okay, I see what you're saying, right.
Hypocrites.
Yeah, hypocrites, absolutely, I got you.
And value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames. You denigrate yourselves in a second.
Yeah.
Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant.
Yep.
'Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. And also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations
Okay.
play on repeat. The same.
Just real quick, I do want to say this. It's funny. We like to say, no, that's not true, but it is true.
Yeah.
When he talked about the Germans, I mean, Kaiser Wilhelm II, who was a big cause of World War I, he was trying to catch up with the colonizing nations, and he felt like that they were keeping him out.
Mhm.
And so he was just trying to catch up and play the same game that the colonizing
The money
nation.
game?
Yeah,
Haha, that's the name of the song, okay.
and Hitler, if you look what he did, if you really get down and don't use his name, Hitler, but you look at some of the stuff he did, it wasn't much different
Mhm.
than what non-fascist countries were doing, some of the things.
I mean, heck, in the United States, we put Japanese people into concentration camps. And now they weren't the same kind of camps as like what Hitler set up, but
We didn't
yeah.
trust them, and
Yes.
you look different. Why didn't
Yeah.
they do that to the Germans? Well, actually, they
Hmm.
did do that to some Germans. There were a
They
couple
did.
camps that were down in Texas,
Yeah.
but for the most part, you're walking on the street during World War II, oh, that person looks like an enemy because he looks Japanese. You see a German, I don't know, it looks
Yeah.
like me.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Same old TV shows repeat, yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame, 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 blame.
Yep.
It's easier to blame. But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Do you think this guy in the chair represents like people just generally? Like
Because, well,
people?
one thing, he's being kept blind.
Yes, that's
Number
what I thought.
two, when
Mhm.
he tells him to stop, he stops.
He's
When he tells him to
exactly.
play, he plays.
Yeah, and he uses like threats of violence, like he had the bat and things like that. So this
And
guy might be represent the working class or
yeah,
something.
and he's tied there. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And if he doesn't do what the guy says, he'll probably have something horrible happen to him. The guy in power, the singer, well,
Yeah.
represents the powerful and the wealthy. Will
Yeah. Almost
crush
certainly.
him.
Yep.
What's happening there?
I don't know. Oh, and some violence.
Yes, that is. See what happens? How many people feel like that guy in the chair?
Mm-hmm. He drew eyes on his hood.
Barely.
Yeah. Now that's interesting. it's almost like he's talking about humanization and dehumanization, like, give you the illusion of we're giving you the illusion that we're gonna treat you like a human being. You know, we'll give you eyes and stuff. They're not real eyes, but we'll still, or we'll give you the illusion of being able to see what's happening to you, right? You know, not having your face covered and such.
Right.
Interesting. Lighter fluid, kerosene or something.
Gasoline.
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 So he does keep saying we're all part of the money game. So I'm wondering if, so technically he is too. I also just noticed he's wearing a rain jacket, and like there's a lot of rain, 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 rain. It's almost like he's protected from the storms and the rain because
Right.
he's like an elite.
I think that's that noise we hear is supposed to be rain
Yeah,
falling somewhere.
but the fact he's wearing that shows he's like protected from all of it. No, Ren, don't do it. They're too handsome, Ren. Don't do it. Interesting. Okay. Why do you think he did there at the end? It's almost like he realized that he's part of the problem too?
Could be.
Yeah. Interesting. I just like the idea of the guy sitting in the chair, like being the working class, as you were saying, having the truth hidden from him, or at least, and then perhaps the drawing of the eyes is like is trying to make him feel like he knows, like you think you think you see what's going on, but it's not true, right?
Right.
Or something like that. That's really interesting.
Right. And also, I'm going to jump back now. The thing with the immigrants, he is so right. He
Mm-hmm.
is so,
Mm-hmm.
so freaking right. The immigrants come over in the past. They're all, at least in the U.S., they're all badly treated. I don't
Yeah.
care where you came from, whether you part of the wave of Chinese coming to the West Coast or Japanese or Irish or Italians or Russians or Jews or whatever. You are they treat you badly. You don't belong here. You're different from us. But given time, they through several generations, they become native born Americans and they start pointing at other people going, "Oh, you don't belong," just like their ancestors were.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a
Yep.
human issue, right?
Yep.
For sure. All right. So let's listen to the next part here. The next part here is Money Game Part 2. Okay, so let's see what this is. I think this is the lyric video, so we can see the lyrics better on the screen, but here we go.
Strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on.
How does this sound like America? I mean, there's a lot of issues going on in Parliament right now.
You could point to most
Yeah.
countries today and do the same.
Yeah, like I know, like the Reform Party.
It's just so freaking obvious over here.
Yeah, Farage and stuff in the UK, the Reform Party using anti-Muslim sentiment, anti-immigrant sentiment to divide people in response to economic struggles. Same thing in the United States, the Republican Party under Donald Trump using immigration, scapegoating, and things like that to divide people and distract them from the real source of the problems, which is the economic struggling of people.
Just to show you how people will judge you by what the powers to be tell you to judge them by and be so blind and ignorant. I have to admit, I enjoy this one. There was this internet publication in which they put out there a news story about how Mamdani of New York, who was
Hmm.
newly elected, he's a social democrat.
Democratic socialist.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I think social democrat is more German,
Yeah, true.
but he's Muslim. And the headlines was Mandami orders before he's sworn in orders all New York City schools to teach Arabic numbers
I
to
remember
the
this.
kids.
Hmm.
Boy, did the internet light up with people who are going, "You got to be kidding me! How can he do that? Wait a minute, what's?" I mean, they were just livid,
Hmm.
and hopefully some of you've caught this, but it was just an example of how people will reiterate they hear Muslim mayor,
Hmm.
they believe what Trump and his cronies say, and they automatically, when they see this, going, "Oh my God, he's trying to Muslimize New York City." That's what we call our numerals in English. They're
They are
Arabic
Arabic
numerals. That's
numerals.
what it
That's
is.
where they
That's what
come
it's
from.
called.
Yes.
And it goes through something so simple
Yeah.
made lots of people who support Trump just go after him over that.
Yep. And so many politicians and stuff were using references to 9/11 and stuff, in regards to
Oh,
Mamdani, trying to make these really, really almost evil, like, attempt to equate him with that. Really gross stuff.
I
No, that was a good story, but did you real fast here at the beginning, I thought I missed something here. Panic and hysteria, learn more and more, and I think so this part here, poor man learned the rich man don't care for you. I think the internet has been really awakening for a lot of people. Now, it's gone 2 ways. So, there you have a lot of people with the invention of the internet, it's allowed a lot of people to get around traditional modes of getting information, modes of information that have been controlled by the elites and sort of censored or have limited information, in order to get information for themselves, which has allowed a lot of people to see the reality of the world. I think, Israel and Palestine, for example, a lot of folks have been seeing videos from Palestine who wouldn't have originally been seeing those videos. Of course, on the other so I think a lot of people have been learning that the people at the top really don't care that much. But then on the other side, you also have people, it goes 2 ways. It also has made it so that people, learn information that is incorrect or bad. So the internet has been good and bad at the same time, but I think, in this case, the internet is partially the reason why, yeah, that more people have realized this about the elites. Okay,
excuse me.
go forward here.
Split through fickle shit, a government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on. Needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's
Easier to blame.
But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Love the beat.
This old money game.
Nixon.
Gross.
This old money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think.
It's actually there are many examples of this historically. For example, the De Beers Company,
Oh,
diamond company.
out of
Uh,
South Africa.
yeah, diamonds are actually pretty common. They're not as rare as we might think. So when the De Beers Diamond Company started, I think it was Cecil Rhodes who created it. started mining all these diamonds in South Africa, across Africa, and they basically had a monopoly on it, and they had a lot of diamonds. Well, that meant that the cost of the diamonds were fairly low because there was such a supply of them. So what the De Beers Mining Company did, and still does today, is they took a large amount of their diamonds and put them into a massive safe slash vault in
Several
London.
across the world.
Yeah, several, to keep the supply down, to create scarcity, which meant that the cost of diamonds is now really high. It's called artificial scarcity, where you purposely create a scarcity of a good to make it cost more. As a matter of fact, there have been times where governments have paid their farmers to destroy their own crops in order to crops or of those food goods, like, or there'll be dairy farmers who dump out tons and tons of milk to destroy it so that the supply drops and the cost goes up. And like, isn't that it's so ridiculously inefficient? Like, if you have an economic system where it makes more sense to destroy a bunch of things that have been created, that is really bizarre, right?
Let's redirect it to people who
Yeah,
need it.
yeah, exactly. Like, why don't you just give it? Like, why don't you just give the food to
I
people?
mean,
Or
because I do understand farmers, if prices drop on their goods that they produce on the
yeah,
farm drop too much, they'll go out of business. And the last thing you want to see is
yes.
farmers going out of
But
business.
the issue though, Dad, is
But
if you hand out the goods, that also,
right,
increases the supply. It
right.
makes it less so, what we could do, I guess you could just pay the farmers, like, and if they're, and
Or
then give out the goods, but,
or
like,
well, the government sometimes will buy up um, farm goods instead of having them destroyed. And
yes.
and also here in the United States, the U.S. government since the Great Depression keeps a big track on farm commodities,
Mhm.
goods throughout the world. And if they see that in the world we're headed for a spike, let's say in soybeans, and the price is going to drop and farmers will suffer, they will actually put out a notice at least 1 year ahead of time. Farmers, if you plant soybeans, that's going to increase the supply and lower the
Mm.
price, so you could lose money. So why don't you grow, let's say, corn? Corn is a little bit in short supply now,
Yes.
if you can, or they offer different things
Yeah.
to help the farmers, but also they also offer things that don't cause the prices to go through the roof,
Right.
that we can't afford it. And but it doesn't always work that way.
No, but also it's just like, why don't they just it's so dumb, there are people in the world starving. Right?
Yes.
Like, just I wish they why can't we just give just give people the food? Like, but of course, our system is based off profit, and you have to be able to make money off everything. So anyway, yeah. So this is that's so cool that he brought up artificial scarcity. See, it shows us so much better. People think that they're rare.
They're
Okay.
rare, you see, bear with me. Take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than the diamonds that too. Got 'em make the people think that they want them, really want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a show, then you're just a fucking waste, man.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm loving this. I don't know if this is a word, but that would be like artificial demand, or basically that's what advertising is. Trying to convince everyone that you want this, need this, get this. You're not cool if you don't have that. You won't have sex appeal if you don't have this. And it's we are constantly being bombarded with advertisements because another way to get people to buy more things is to raise demand for those things, and you do that by using propaganda and trying to get people to buy things. By the way, also kind of inefficient because a lot of times you convince people to buy things that they don't really need. Maybe you'll spend money that they don't really need to spend, or some things that people buy are really bad for society
Mhm.
or really bad for themselves, like cigarettes, for example. Yeah, like there's a lot of things out there that we like to frame it as, well, you can buy what you want. The market will always provide what people need, and the market's very efficient, but it oftentimes creates and things that people don't really need, and then it convinces them that they think to need them or want them when they don't really need them or want them.
Right. They'll
Um,
gear the commercials to something inside of you. It'll click. Oh, I've got to have that.
yes, yeah,
Or how many times have you heard about kids that go to school and they're a little embarrassed because all of their friends have this,
yes,
something that they
they
really
really
don't need,
target kids.
and then
Yeah,
then then you get teased as the kid without it until
mhm,
you get it.
yep,
And you might go, "Oh, well, they stop it when they grow up." No, they don't.
yeah,
Some people take that into to their adulthood. I
yep,
know some like that.
yeah,
and
they use tons of science and psychology to try and
oh,
find new ways to get to people. Like the reason why so many like cereal boxes are primary colors like red, orange, green is because that appeals to children. It also triggers in adults this sort of nostalgia for childhood
mhm.
and things like that. Like they manipulate, and so the idea that like the markets are efficient because they just provide what people want and need. No, a lot of times these companies create the demand, even if it's not something people really want or need.
Jesse, matter of fact, I challenge you to wherever you live, go through your apartment, your house, your townhome, whatever it is, and look around and go, do I really need that?
Hmm.
As opposed to, do I really want that?
Yeah,
My wants are different.
and need it really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my need is like basic necessities. And
Yes.
we turn these wants into need. And
Hmm.
for people go, oh, commercials, they don't really work. Back when I was younger, there was a beer company, which I won't name,
Hmm.
who came up with a very, very clever advertising for a light beer. And they used sports figures, and it was humorous. And they were like number three, a distant number three or so behind the other two big companies with light beers. Well, those commercials were so successful that they were catapulted within a short period of time to the number one selling light beer in America. And for somebody who likes beer, it's light beer,
Hmm.
is it really beer? But anyway, it became the number one selling light beer in America. It worked. That money they put out worked.
Hmm. Yeah, it works. Like it's scientifically proven to work. Like okay, yeah.
Push the right buttons
That's
in
why
the
they
brain.
why do you think yeah, that's why they all these companies spend so much money on ads because they know it works, right? Okay,
Right.
anyway.
It's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. Expand.
By the way, there have been studies, this is great, that show that CEOs, I can't remember where this came from, so don't quote me on this. CEOs, a large percentage of CEOs exhibit um, symptoms that would normally be associated with antisocial personality disorder or sociopathy, where you don't really feel for other people, you don't really care about how it affects other people, because in order to rise that high up in a company, you need to be able to step on other people and fire people and be aggressive in your acquisitions and things like that. So, some psychologists did that study and found that a lot of CEOs exhibit what would normally be considered symptoms of being a sociopath or okay so yeah, your morals kind of do disappear. As a matter of fact, one of the ways, the best ways to rise up in a company is to just be obedient to what they tell you to do, and to, even if it's really unpleasant stuff that you have to do. Part of your pay is you're being paid for the bad stuff they're asking you to do. So the more bad stuff or like more immoral stuff you're asked to do, the more you might be paid. Okay. Um,
It becomes your lifestyle,
yeah, it
which
totally
which
does.
also brings me to this. I do want to mention this isn't just aimed at, let's say, the middle class.
Hmm.
We're talking even the poor,
Yeah.
which is even worse
Yeah.
because studies, once again, you can look them up, it's out there. Studies have shown that when you're in poverty, you're more likely to commit crimes of theft and robbery in order to get those items or in order to get money to get those items because it creates a need in you. And they, a lot of corporations know this.
Hmm.
And so it
Yeah, and
that's
also
unethical.
yeah, well, also the very fact, what you were saying too, there is a correlation between crime and poverty because, of course, and then we demonize crime, but a lot of people who are in poverty, they do crime because they need things to survive.
Mhm.
They don't have access to things, so that really gives it you an incentive to steal. Anyway, all right.
Expand, clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6 guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7 press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8 big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9 polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10 the world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells.
Seashells by the seashore. I saw that coming.
Rain, rain, rain.
Okay, so there was a lot.
Ooh,
Oh, we stopped on the Wehrmacht. Look at that. A lot there. Like, yeah, first of all, they mentioned how, like, selling sell, like, get this big corporation, go and become wealthy and become president. That's not too far off from the truth. We have a very corrupt campaign system, unfortunately, in the United States, where big money donors donate to politicians in order to get them elected to spend on ads and things like that. So, yeah, a lot of times these politicians are super corrupt, super, super corrupt in the United States.
now I want to say they'll say it's legal what I'm
Yeah,
doing,
it is,
but
unfortunately.
is it ethical? Is it
No,
moral?
no, yeah, and I would phrase it as we've basically legalized corruption.
Yep.
It's a legal part of our system to be so that
And,
is very true, yeah.
and just because it's legal doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
absolutely.
It
Segregation was
doesn't.
legal for a long time. That doesn't make it right. Slavery was
Slavery,
legal. There you go. Okay, doesn't make it right.
right?
Then they also mentioned like a constant expansion. Would you say that's sort of a fundamental element of capitalist enterprise? You kind of have to constantly expand or you die. Because like if you don't, some other company will eat you up. You need to constantly grow, 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 grow. And by the way, if you are a corporation, that means you're beholden to your shareholders and they want to see that stock market line going up all the time, right? So you better keep growing, keep selling, keep expanding, keep growing. Okay. And we live on a finite planet with only so much space and resources. So let's, at some point, I don't know how, if you can grow to infinity, which is why there's recessions and depressions. Now, not the only reason,
Of the
but
economic cycle.
yeah, or they call it the business cycle, which I always thought made it sound so cute, even though it's a cycle of things crashing. But anyway, okay.
A storm it comes our way.
Oh, the moose.
And no
Yes.
surprise to distorted lies.
Franco.
Poison in
Yep.
the veins, but we died upon the blame.
Oh, Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
Great movie. The Dictator.
Split point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money
game. God has me singing.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
This old money game. This old.
Oof. All right,
Now,
Dad.
I do want to mention something.
Please.
Charlie Chaplin.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing I think it was called The Little Dictator.
Or The Dictator.
The dictator,
Yeah.
making fun of
Hitler.
Hitler. And at one point in his life, he became outspoken against unethical, immoral, what you do to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And he became a spokesperson for doing the right thing for the people in general. And he was kind of ostracized in the United States. He eventually, at one point, he left.
Well, yeah, he was English, wasn't he? And he ended up he never was an American citizen, and then he moved back to the UK and stayed there because I think the United States kicked him out.
Well, I think they were talking about it. And now I have to
Yeah.
admit, he also had some other unique, eccentric
Eccentricities.
eccentricity. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that was the biggie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he if you ever watch some of his movies, there's like one movie where he has his own son in it. And the son will often say on screen what Charlie Chaplin wants to say, but he knows that his son can get away with it because he's a kid. And he has some pretty radical economic ideas about like the wealthy having too much power and stuff. So he'll have his son say it on screen. And then so that he doesn't say it. It's interesting. Okay, so this is the last part here. Ren Money Game Part 3. Let's go, Dad. Like his rings. He can play the piano too, guitar and piano.
Well, at least that's what it looks like. I mean,
Yeah, those look like his hands. Not that I know what his hands.
Is it really playing or is it dubbed in? But it looks like he's hitting the proper keys.
Okay, fair. That's fair. Yeah. Oh, he has a bag on his head. How the hell does he see the?
Well, a lot of pianists will look up while they're playing.
No, I know, but okay. How dare you, Dad? Stop correcting me.
That's a dad's job.
I know.
Yes. Oh, you can see through that too.
Can you? Oh.
It's almost like a scrim on a stage.
Oh, okay. Seeing himself in the mirror.
He's freeing himself.
Yeah, after noticing that he is blind. Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, gimme. 2 years old, he was
an
walking.
American?
3 years old, walking quickly. 4 years old, he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
Jeez.
35, he gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed up, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
Well, that would do it. He's the only one that doesn't have a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed.
Money's a god.
Invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution.
That's interesting. I know we haven't said much during this one, but we're just kind of
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains.
and their
If
hearts.
we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise.
Yeah. It's self-destructive to have all this. Yeah.
Forty-five.
To the rain.
Jimmy comes home out of the rain.
Oh.
Soaking wet upon a wheelchair. Drinking the game. He is everything he wants. He is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father. It's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
All right. Well, what'd you think of Ren, Dad?
Now I'm going to use, I don't use this lightly, but he almost ranks up there as being a moral compass
Yeah.
and a prophet.
I'm
I'll be very blunt. I think that's
Yeah.
because he's talking about things very bluntly about the way they are. I mean, you and I
Yeah.
have talked that way some. Not that
Absolutely.
I'm a prophet or a moral
Yeah.
compass, but he's putting it out there, and
Yeah. I mean, that's
he's right.
amazing. Yeah.
Most people refuse to believe it because they live in their own world with their wealth and their power,
Or
and as
they're
long as
blinded by those hoods
that's
that
right.
he's. Yeah.
Yeah, and those hoods are put on by the wealth.
Absolutely.
It's
Yep.
just
By the powerful, by the wealthy.
and
Absolutely.
yeah,
That was brilliant. That was really good.
it was.
So, yeah. All right.
I don't know who got my son to play this.
I was gonna actually. That's funny you say that. I was gonna say I would like to specifically thank Doug for recommending this. You know who you are, Doug. Thank you for recommending we do this. All right.
Who are you, Doug?
All right.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yes.
It
was good.
You know, sometimes I need things to renew the fire in me because sometimes it gets tedious, and I don't think my flame has ever gone out when it comes to this type of stuff. But this
You're
really
right.
okay. Your mother says that about
Yeah,
me.
I
Anyway,
don't need to. Okay.
sorry,
All
guys.
right.
Uh,
Okay,
but
guys.
but
Yeah.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to say that it's rekindled that very, very big time. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Folks, if you like what you saw here, you can become a member on the channel for as little as 99 cents a month by clicking the join button. I live stream every day except for Wednesdays and Sundays. You can also find me on Twitch live streaming there. Please subscribe, like, follow. Please in the comments let me know, like, did you guys like Ren? How did you interpret Ren's videos here? I feel like if I had all the time in the world, I could sit here just debating with my dad what those videos meant. But what does everyone else out there think about Ren? And yeah, great videos, absolutely fantastic videos.